Hi, friends. Welcome back to Money Breath Magic. I am catching you from España. I've officially moved. It's been about 2 weeks since I arrived, and I'm feeling all the feels. I have been processing a wave of emotion since I've been here, and I thought there was no better time than now just to hop on, have a candid conversation with you about the process of completely transforming your life and making a major change in life. What I've noticed is every single time that I have made a significant change like this, I have gone through this similar kind of wave of emotions, and I thought it would be so helpful to just share in real time what I'm going through. So, this is for you if you have ever or are planning to go on your own digital nomad journey, if you are planning on quitting your job, starting your business, maybe leaving a relationship, any major life change. I want to share with you what has come up for me throughout all of these major changes that I have made in my own life, why they're coming up, and like what's actually happening in our nervous system. Some of the patterns that I see within my own life that you might experience, and maybe some that you recognize that come up for you. And then I want to share with you, of course, like what I'm doing to work through this, how to shift these patterns, how to get myself back to a regular baseline of feeling good. So if you're new here, my name's Sue Ellen, and I must apologize. I got a little sick this weekend, but again, I just wanted to hop on here and record this episode while I was like top of mind. So hopefully it sounds okay. But I'm Sue Ellen. I'm a CPA, breathwork and somatics facilitator, and I also am a digital nomad. I quit my job last year, my 20-year finance career, packed up most of my life, and I moved over to Bali. So my journey was I quit my career. I was living in Chicago, moved to Bali, was living there for like 6 months, went to Egypt for a month, did a little more traveling, and then now I have since moved over to Barcelona in Spain. And what I have noticed and why this is like such a hot topic for me right now is these ways of emotion are so similar to every single major life change that I have made. So when I first quit my job, when I first started my business, when I packed up my life and I moved over to Bali, when I walked away from my 5-year relationship and started my life over in Chicago when I knew no one, every single time I've made this like major change in life, it's come with these like waves of emotion because what's so interesting about it is like we're obviously making decisions like this. Like I wanted to move to Spain. Like it's something that was a dream of mine. I actually, funny enough, like the only reason I'm here is because my intuition basically led me here. I 2 years ago, before I had even decided to quit my job, was in a visualization with a life coach that I was working with at the time. And we were doing this visualize your future meditation. And in that visualization, I could so clearly see myself in Spain. I don't know why. I've been here once, but only for like 3 days when I was in my 20s. Like just something was calling me. Like I had this like actual like vision of me in this room. There was glass everywhere. There was plants everywhere. I was with my man. I don't know who he is, but I was with him and I could so clearly see that there was something for me in Spain. And so the reason why I'm here is literally because my intuition has called me here. But despite that, despite it being like this internal knowing that I know that I'm meant to be here and my excitement to be here, it's somewhere new. I'm walking around, trying new foods, seeing new architecture, seeing, trying out new Pilates classes, like going into different shopping. Like there's so much newness, which just like totally makes you feel alive and you're excited and you're so joyful. And I just feel so much gratitude for being able to have this experience in life. Despite all of that, it also comes with these waves of emotions that are a little more uncomfortable. Obviously, there's a lot of fear that comes up when you're making big life transitions. You go to quit your job, you go to leave a relationship, you go to move across the world. Like, that's scary as fuck, Like, there's gonna be questioning, like, am I making the right decision? So, the last couple of weeks, like, some fear has been coming up, some uncertainty has been coming up, doubt, like doubting myself, like, okay, what is really my intuition? Like, did I make the right move? What if it doesn't work out? All of these things that I've been like questioning. And it's because I have put myself somewhere that is not familiar. And all of these feelings and emotions, they're like valid. Of course, you would expect to feel these types of emotions and feelings whenever you're making this like significant life change. But it's if we recognize them and like actually act on them. So what's interesting and what I've noticed is I have these waves of emotions that are coming up, but I also am seeing that the actions that I am taking are not aligned with the highest version, for lack of better term, my highest self. Like I'm finding myself falling into these patterns of procrastinating, of doom scrolling, putting off like making content or showing up online. I find myself resisting doing the inner work that I love so much. Like as a breathwork and somatics facilitator, I love to do visualization and meditation and like somatic practices and breathwork. But I have found over the last couple of weeks resistance to doing that work, to actually like diving in. I found myself repeating old stories, like for me, an old story that I have held on to for so long, and I've seen it come up every single time. I'm telling you, when I went to Bali, this exact same story was coming up. Was I was I have been like justifying that the reason why I'm feeling these emotions, that I'm feeling uncertain and doubtful or not wanting to show up online, or the behaviors that I'm doing of like procrastinating or feeling like I'm blocked creatively, all of this, I'm taking this experience and I'm making a story about it. And I've noticed the story come up of like, I'm telling myself the story that I have an issue with my self worth, that I don't value myself, that I'm just insecure, that I'm not confident, because I have held this story my entire life that I am an insecure person. And I have healed this and I've worked through it and I've rewired this belief for myself. But every time that I put myself in these new situations, I see this story want to come and rear its head again. And it's like, oh, I know that because this is the way that I'm behaving, it's because I'm not confident. It's because I'm insecure. It's because I'm an insecure person. And all that is our nervous system, it's our brain is trying to justify the reason why we are feeling the way that we are feeling. The brain wants to control and make sense of the experience that we are having. Because if I'm feeling all of these emotions and I have all of this resistance, the brain feels out of control if it can't come up with a reason why that's happening. And so we automatically go into the mind creating these like stories that aren't even true. And so we somehow come up with these stories to justify our experience. And I found myself getting in this loop of doubting myself, questioning myself, feeling uncertain with my choices. And it's like when I come back to my core, I know how to trust my intuition. I have so much experience and so much validation and so much confirmation of times in my past when I have trusted my intuition and it was the right choice. It all ended up working out. Like, I know that. But because I'm having these uncomfortable feelings, I have found myself creating stories to try to justify why my intuition might be wrong. And from a nervous system perspective, the reason why these things happen, and this happens with money too, and it's all related, and this is why what I talk about on this channel is our nervous system just wants to keep us safe. That's the only thing it wants to do. And so safety for the nervous system is when something feels familiar. It is something that can be predictable. It's something that is expected. And so what is crazy about this whole thing is like, even if it's an experience that you are not happy with, that you want to change, that you consciously want to be different, our nervous system Our body will want to keep us in that experience because it is predictable, because we know what to expect. It's because it's familiar, it's because it's comfortable. The nervous system feels safe when it knows what to expect. So when we know all of this, it kind of helps soften the experience in some ways because it's like, okay, I know that there's nothing wrong with me. The reason why I'm procrastinating, I'm feeling these emotions, I'm putting things off, I'm telling myself these stories, I'm avoiding doing the things that I want to do, I'm scrolling, I'm escaping, I'm resisting, all of this, it's just because my nervous system is trying to keep me safe. It's just wanting to bring me back to something that is familiar. And so it's like, cool. Thank you so much for keeping me safe. Thank you so much for trying to protect me, but we don't need to do that anymore. And so the thing that I have been working through is finding ways to regulate my nervous system and feel safe and comfortable in this new experience that I am having. And so this is going to look different depending on what you're working through, how you're being triggered, what's coming up for you, and what change you're navigating. But I wanted to share the things that I am doing that I know are helping me come back to a baseline state and some practices that might also help you if you are navigating change. So the first things first is I don't ignore my feelings. I don't ignore my emotions. Like, I don't try to gaslight myself and pretend like they're not actually happening. I allow myself to feel the feels. Like, I allow myself to have the experience of, like, yeah, this is real. Like, I am feeling fear. I'm feeling doubt. I'm feeling uncertain. I'm not trying to just sugarcoat it and sprinkle glitter all over it. Like, I recognize that it is part of my experience, but I also don't tell myself that there's something wrong with me because of it. And as I'm feeling my feels, I'm noticing the emotions, I'm noticing the stories that come up. I allow myself to look at those stories, see them, and then validate for myself that they aren't true. And the way that I do this is I go back to situations in the past where I have navigated another period of my life where I felt uncertain. I look back to experiences that I had, like leaving my relationship, like moving to Chicago all by myself where I knew nobody, like quitting my job, like starting my business, like moving to Bali. I go back and I am looking at those situations, those tough times that I navigated, and showing myself evidence that I fucking did it. Like I did it and it turned out better than I ever could have imagined. And so if you're navigating something right now where you feel doubt, uncertainty, fear, and you have these big emotions coming up after you've just made a major change, as you start questioning yourself, go back and validate for yourself like what a badass you actually are. Go find situations in your past, and I know we all have them, where you have navigated something where it was a challenge or you were uncertain, and show yourself how you came out better on the other side. And then every day, as these like stories, I find them pop in my head as I shared about me feeling like the story of, oh, I'm just an insecure person. I'm not confident. Like I need to work on my self-worth more. I need to work on my self-confidence more. Whenever I share those stories come up, I notice it. I recognize it, and then I redirect it. I immediately catch it and say, no, that is not what we believe anymore. That is not the story we are telling ourselves anymore. And I redirect and I come up with some sort of statement for myself that affirms how I feel now, what my beliefs are now. And my beliefs are that I am a powerful, confident, badass freaking woman who changes her life all the time. And that the reason why I'm feeling these emotions and feelings is because I am up leveling my life, because I am making scary fucking decisions that most people in their lives would never make. Making scary decisions like this and changes in your life like this, that actually makes you more of a confident person than a non-confident person. That actually makes you more brave. That actually makes you more fearless. So even though that we're having these very normal feelings that are coming up, that doesn't mean that that is your actual identity. That is just an emotion that is processing through the body. And then I've been going back to the practices that make me feel good. And so for me, it's breath work, it's somatic practices. Like whenever I feel the fear coming up, like I'll just tap. I do a lot of tapping or like shaking to like just move the energy because emotions are just energy in motion. It's just energy moving through the body that we need to exert and get out. Shaking is amazing whenever you're feeling these like uncomfortable emotions. Put on a song and just literally shake your body as much as possible in whatever way that feels good, whatever way that feels like you are moving the energy out of the body. A lot of times, these emotions just need like 90 seconds to process and move out. Obviously, if it's something deeper, you might need to do some deeper work on it, but sometimes it's literally just some somatic movement that needs to get the emotion out of the body, and then you can go back to what you were doing. But for me, again, it's like breath work and somatics. I've been doing visualization a lot and walking around the city and tapping into that highest version of myself, my best life, and start thinking about the best case scenario that could possibly happen. Instead of focusing on what if I made the wrong decision, what if, something doesn't work out the way that I planned, I redirect and I start thinking about what if it works out better than I could have ever imagined. And I start thinking of all the craziest, wildest, amazing things that could possibly happen from me being in this situation, from making this decision, from making this change. And then I think specifically when you are like moving to somewhere new, like I just did, is like I immediately wanted to get back into what makes me feel good in my body in terms of routines. So I think it's really easy when you're in a new place to just like want to be out exploring and eating all the food and like not working at all and like, just going off the rails like you're on vacation. That's what I did in Bali, and it did not serve me at all. So immediately when I got to Spain, of course, I gave myself a little bit of time to like get, integrated from the jet lag and all of that. But I immediately joined a gym. I started going to Pilates regularly. I started going grocery shopping, cooking food, because I know when my body feels good, I know when I'm in my routines, that helps me feel safe, that helps me feel grounded, that helps me feel like I am still in this same life that I've always been, and it just helps me feel more regulated. And then I just asked myself, what are the easiest steps forward? What would be the easiest action step that I could take? So if I find myself like procrastinating, or I find myself not wanting to show up online, or I find myself doom scrolling, it's like, okay, what are the easiest actions that I can take right now? And so for me, like with the doom scrolling, I have like a blocker on my phone. I just set it, to where it like blocks my social apps. For procrastinating, it's like, okay, if content feels like very overwhelming right now, can I just pop up on my story and just talk about whatever I want to talk about? It could be about the food I'm eating. It could be about what I did last night. It could be about what I'm seeing in the neighborhood. It could have nothing to do with my business. Just get on there and talk. And it's like, if I can take these micro action steps, eventually I'm going to get back in my routine. I'm going to get my creativity back. It's all going to start flowing again. I don't need to look at the big picture right now. It's just like, what micro action can I take every single day? Then I've been getting out for walks, doing visualization, future self visualizations, gratitude walks. I just started doing these color walks where you pick a color and you just walk around the neighborhood and you try to identify things in that color, as many as you can. And it's really just a practice of presence, because the mind wants to take us to the future. Our mind wants to take us to the past. And it's like, how can we stay in the present moment? How can we focus on right here, right now? This is the only moment that we have. So these walks of just like presence and feeling grateful, tapping into gratitude, has helped bring me back down to, okay, all is well, all is safe. I don't need to worry about the future right now. I don't need to be ruminating on the past. And if I made a poor decision, all I have is this moment right here, right now, and I'm going to feel grateful for it. And so as I've gotten back into these practices, I've really been feeling a lot more grounded. My emotions have come down so much. I've been feeling so much more in the body. I've been able to start showing up online again. I've been kind of able to start planning a little bit more and just feeling like I'm getting back into my routines. So yeah, I just wanted to share, like, if you're navigating a big change and you have like big emotions that are coming up, big feelings coming up, it's totally normal. It's totally to be expected. And hopefully some of these tips can help you like navigate what you're going through in your own transition in your own life. So I'm excited to start sharing some more Spain updates, show you around Barcelona. Maybe I'll do like some vlogs or whatnot if I can get all of that together for, one thing at a time, but hope everybody's well. I look forward to catching you in the next episode and have an amazing week ahead. Ciao.